Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to another World of Warcraft zone tier list. If you missed my last one, I'll put a link right up, oh god, I'm freaking out, right up here in the cards or whatever. You can click the card, it'll take you there, it'll open in a new tab if you missed that or you want to see it after, you can just open it for then. But I already made my classic WoW zone tier list, so I felt like with the Burning Crusade pre-patch and Burning Crusade coming out in just a couple weeks, we gotta do the Burning Crusade tier list, right? We gotta do it. So there's not many zones to rank. There's only 7, but these are some intense zones, dude. You know, this is like, it's you're gonna be in these zones for a while. Like, this isn't like classic WoW where you'd spend like a couple levels in a zone, you move on. This is like you spend a couple levels there, but it's like the equivalent of a lot of levels. So being in those zones for a long time, it's going to be pretty important that you like those zones. So we're going to go through, we're going to rank them all, and I'm just going to go one by one. Starting with Netherstorm. So Netherstorm is a pretty cool zone. You've got like all this purple lightning happening, you got like these floating things, you got these biodomes, right? With like it's like a big greenhouse. There's like all this jungle and stuff inside. You got the little neutral city with all the gadget sand, essentially, of the Outlands. So I think that Netherstorm's gonna go in the good category for me. Now here's why, alright? I never really enjoyed going to Netherstorm. It wasn't like my favorite thing, like, dude, yes, I'm going to Netherstorm, but I didn't really hate it. I wasn't like, Netherstorm, whatever, you know, so to me it was just a good zone. Like, it had pretty good quests there. I don't think I ever really even completed it. Usually I'd hit level 70 and I'd be like, nice, I can get out of here. But I do like the aesthetic of it. I do like a lot of the quests. And for that reason alone, I think it's a good zone. Now, Blades Edge Mountains. Blades Edge Mountains, I'm going to have to put in the meh category. And here's why. I don't really like questing that much in Blades Edge Mountains. Like, there's a couple quests I like the one where the dude's buried in the ground and his head's sticking out, and he's like, help me, man. And then there's the, you know, just the aspect of these big-ass spikes sticking out everywhere, and, like, the dragons are getting stuck in them or, like, flying into it or whatever. That's pretty neat. I like that, but a lot of the other quests I just never really cared for and don't really like. And the layout is kind of wonky too. There's like all these different sections, and I get that some of them it's for like flying to get there, but like all the crystals, I'm not really into that. I like the big spikes in the little enclosed valley areas, but outside of that, like so that's why it's meh for me. I never really did a lot of questing in Blades Edge. Like, I would try, and then I would just be like, I just don't like it here. I'd rather go back to one of the other zones or something, so I don't know what it is, man, because, like, I want to like Blades Edge. Every time I go to Blades Edge, I'm like, dude, I really like the concept of this zone, and then I try to get into it, and I'm like, I just can't. Maybe this will be different. This is like in Classic WoW, where I kept being like, oh, dude, I don't play Warlocks. Warlock's my least favorite class. I'm not going to play a Warlock. And then randomly, towards the end of the beta, I was like, I'm going to try a Warlock because they had Alterac Valley open. And I tried it, and I was like, that's pretty fun. Why don't I like Warlocks? And then I ended up making a Warlock. So I was like, you know what? I get a free mount at 40, so, you know, I don't have to save up gold for that. And now I, like, love Warlocks. Warlock's one of my favorite classes. And I'm going to be maining that in Burning Crusade. And it's crazy how much it flipped. Like, if you go back like years ago, I'm like, dude, I hate Warlocks. Warlocks are dumb. I really don't like this class. And then now it's like one of my favorites. Although I don't really like retail Warlocks. I don't know what it is. It's just, there's something about the classic WoW Warlock that just feels a little more unique. And apparently in Burning Crusade, they get a lot better. Like, one of the best classes. So I'm like, hey, let's do it. So I'm excited. So yeah, that's why Blades Edge is meh. Now, Hellfire Peninsula. Hellfire Peninsula is an interesting one because it's the first zone you go into. And it's also It's got some areas where I'm like, but it's got some areas that are pretty good. Like the one area with all the little Draenei dudes and they're being enslaved by the big demons. I like that quest area. It's really fun. You got the Fell Reavers walking around. There's the flying quest where you go around and you're like throwing the bombs at people. So like there's some innovative quests in there too you'd never even seen before in WoW. And there's some, there's some cool areas, but like there's also some areas where I'm like, hey, how many Fell Orcs are we gonna kill? All right, go get some lumber from them. Now kill some more orcs, get their blood. A lot of orc killing. And it's I'm gonna say it's a good zone. I almost put it in the mech category, but I think it's a good zone. Like I don't have too much against Hellfire, but I'm never like, yes, Hellfire Peninsula, I gotta go back there, dude. So I think, you know what, it can stay in the good. Now, if you couldn't tell by my background, I'm a pretty big fan of Nagrand. And that's why it's going in the amazing category, not the great. It slipped. So Nagrand's probably one of my favorite zones just ever. I remember when I first got to Burning Crusade, like 2007 or whenever it was. And I was just riding my mount through all the zones, so I was like, I gotta see all these zones. I remember getting to Nagrand and being like, dude, this is a good zone. Just like, oh my god, I think it took all the things I loved about Mulgore, and it just amplified it. Like what if Mulgore was the Great Plains, but it was also this kind of crazy alien area, and there's like these floating islands, and there's like an arena where people are battling, and there's like this big ass thrall town. There's like these ogres over here doing shit. There's like these this big mountain spaceship thing, and there's like Kodo looking things walking around it, and it's like there's giant waterfalls and elementals, like and Hemmet Nessingwary's there, dude. Hemmet Nessingwary's there. He's there. Which might be a downside for some people, but I don't know. I love the aesthetic of the zone. I love the questing in the zone. I love everything about the zone, and Nagrand's probably my favorite zone. But there's another one that's gonna join it, but you'll probably figure it out if you haven't already. Shadowmoon Valley. Now this is a weird one because a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people really like Shadowmoon Valley, and personally, every time I would get to Shadowmoon Valley and do some questing there, I just never really liked it. I would try to enjoy it. I just wouldn't care. And then there's like the Nether Drake quest where like people are just doing the eggs and stuff. Wasn't a big fan of that either. So I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the zone. The zone aesthetic isn't really my thing. I feel like if you liked Legion as an expansion, you probably like Shadowmoon Valley. Which I also like Legion, but I don't like Shadowmoon Valley. So I really just debunked my theory right there. But I feel like a lot of people would, right? Because it's the same Legion thing. It's just a Legion attack with some crazy shit. But as you know, I'm a big aesthetic person. I like being in a zone. I like taking in the aesthetic and the environment and the weather and all that. And this doesn't really have a lot of that. And I really didn't like the questing either. So I'm putting it in the mech category. Because I don't think it's trash still. I don't think any of these zones are trash. But I think it's a meh zone. So sorry if you're like... next up we've got Terokkar Forest. Now, Terokkar Forest is an interesting one because I love the forest part of Terokkar. There's like all the mystical trees. There's Shatrath. There's those cool quests with the like dude that walks around with the bodyguard and you like fight him. I think that's what happened. You like confront him or whatever. There's like the little elf place with all the moths all over. There's like some orcs and some fell stalkers, a whole bunch of shit going on. Then you got the Arakoa in the other section. I actually like the zone a lot. And then there's like the little area that's all deserted, right? The Akendon. I always say it in a German, like Akendon. I don't even know if that's how you say it. It's more fun to say it that way though. So I never used to like that area, and then I've kind of it's kind of grown on me. Like, even just going back and kind of farming for mounts, I would have to go there to get the bird from Outland down, or whatever the shit, which zone it is. I don't know. The bird runs around. You know what I'm talking about. But I got it, and then I didn't have to go back. But I kind of appreciate it more, because back in the day, I was like, this place sucks, just like some deserted area. But then you kind of learn the lore behind it. And I'm not even a big lore person, but you're like, shit, dude, this place is kind of crazy. So I appreciate it a lot more now. And I love the music. If you couldn't tell, the Terokkar music's been playing in the background. And I really love the aesthetic, just captures everything so well of Terokkar. Like, it's just this mystical, kind of gloomy forest. But it doesn't do it in a dark way. It does it in a oddly mystical way. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. And that's why, you know what? I think it's a great zone. I don't think it's an amazing zone. I think it's a great zone. It's better than all the other ones. Terokkar Forest, big fan. And then we have Zangarmarsh. And I think you already know where that's going. Oh, yeah. Zangarmarsh. Easily, it might even beat out Nagrand, but I think it's just a little behind. I think it's just a little bit behind, but I love Zangarmarsh, man. The zone is just like the epitome of chill, relaxing. Unless you go into the areas that are not relaxing, like with all the Nagas and they're trying to kill you and shit. That is not so much. But I just love the Sporgar and the Sporlings, and then there's just the constant rain. There's the big mushrooms. You got some trolls chilling out everywhere. You got like ogres and stuff, like mining the mushrooms or like harvesting the mushroom, which is kind of crazy. You got like the dead bog or the dead maw, whatever it's called up there. It's just a really cool zone. You got the Cenarian people there, and I don't know. I love the kind of gloomy blue aspect of it. And they got the Duke, they're the Dudek, or I don't even remember what the instrument is. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. It's a great zone. Plus, I love the questing there. The questing's pretty fun. There's like the manta ray things, the floating ray things. There's a lot of drain ice stuff. I always, whenever I get to Zangarmarsh, I'm like, yeah, I get to do some Zangarmarsh quests. And it's just a bonus of being able to be in the zone at the same time and kind of chilling out and being like, yeah, man, this place is cool. So I definitely got that up in the amazing tier. So let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me. I'm sure many of you disagree, but that's all right. Let me know what's your favorite zone and your least favorite zone out of all of these. I would probably stay in Nagrand and then Shadowmoon Valley, honestly. So let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Okay? Okay. See you. Oh, God, where's the stop recording? Oh, there we go. I'm good at YouTube.